Hello class. Okay, so we are continuing with our civics chapter 2 federalism. So now today we are going to start with the topic, how does India practice power sharing? Okay, we have learned that our India is considered as a federal country. Now how we practice power sharing? So by creating linguistic states, which has made administration easier, new states have been created since 1947. No language has been given the status of national language by the constitution. That means we have not made any language as our national language. That means why they have done so. For example, if we are taking Hindi as our national language, we cannot force other non-Hindi speaking states to compulsorily speak in Hindi. That's not done. That's not a proper federal country. So for that reason, our country has not given the status of national language to any language. Okay. Official languages are there. English is taken into consideration. If you go to some government offices, it depends upon the states where it is Hindi language forms will be there, Gujarati forms will be there, and if you go to South, Kannada form is there. Then Tamil forms are there. So in different languages also we can get the forms related to our government rules and regulations and things. Next is rise of regional political parties and coalition government has led to a new culture of power sharing. And as I told you earlier, there are threefold distribution of legislative parts. So because of all these things, our India has become a federal country, and in this way they practice the power sharing. Okay. Now, residuary parts are subjects which do not fall under these three lists, as we have seen: union list, state list, and concurrent list. Okay. So union list means the central list, and state list means the seen by the state, and concurrent list means both central and state. So there are some subjects which do not fall under the three list. So union government alone has the power to make laws for such type of subjects. For example, computer software. It does not come under the state or concurrent or union, but the union government has the power to make laws for this type of subjects which is not falling under any list, that is computer software. Language policy. Now what are the language policy of our country is no language has been given the status of national language, and central government can't impose Hindi on non-Hindi speaking states. We cannot impose any language on any other language speaking states. 22 languages have been recognized as scheduled languages, and our center also agrees to use English along with Hindi, and while doing this what is shown is flexibility. No imposing of any language on anybody. We are showing flexibility from our side that our center is agreeing to use English also along with Hindi. Center-state relation. Central government cannot undermine the powers of states or dismiss them. What is the meaning of this? Central government cannot undermine the parts of state or dismiss them. And next is coalition government. Power sharing is more effective today. Coalition government. What is the meaning of coalition government is, here we are not doing any type of imposing or force on anybody. That is the meaning of coalition government. Here power sharing is given more effectiveness. Nobody is going to do any type of monopoly, or they are not going to rule upon anybody. That is the meaning of this coalition government. And central government cannot undermine the parts of state or dismiss them. Okay, so what is the meaning of undermine? Means erode the base or foundation of, or a rock formation, we can say. For example, lessen the effectiveness or power or ability of, that is known as undermine. Okay, so central government cannot show their power on the parts of state or dismiss them. Next is What brought about the real success of federalism in India? Nature of democratic politics, respect for democratic politics, and desire for living together. These are the things which has brought the real success of federalism in India. As we have seen here, that central government cannot show their power, or they cannot show their effectiveness, or what we say, any type of ability of to the powers of state, or dismiss them. Same way, the coalition government also has taken into consideration or given the importance to power sharing. Here also the real success has happened of federalism in India is because the nature of democratic politics, the respect which give for our democratic politics, and the desire for living together, not showing any kind of monopoly on, no central government not showing monopoly on state, or state government not showing the monopoly on local government, but we are giving respect for the democratic politics, and we are having the desire for living together. What undermines the spirit of federalism? Center misusing the constitution to dismiss the state government that was controlled by rival parties. Coalition governments lead to a new culture of power sharing and respect for the autonomy of state governments. So what undermines the spirit of federalism here tells about that the center is misusing the constitution to dismiss the state government that was controlled by rival parties. What is the meaning of rival? Is a person or a thing which is competing with another for same objective, or for superiority in the same field of activity. That is the meaning of rival parties. That means they are in competition for same objective, but between a person or between the parties. Okay. So here, center misusing the constitution to dismiss the state government that was controlled by rival parties. This is one of the undermines the spirit of federalism. And coalition government that lead to a new culture of power sharing and respect for the autonomy of state governments. Now here they are talking about coalition government, and what is the meaning of coalition government? Okay, this thing we have seen in 9th standard also. Coalition government means it is a form of government in which the political parties cooperate, reducing the dominance of any one party within that coalition. Okay, and the usual reason for this type of arrangement is because that no party on its own can achieve a majority in the election. That's why we have having this form of government, that is coalition government. Again, I'm saying coalition government means which political parties cooperate, reducing the dominance of any one party within that coalition. So this coalition government had led a new culture of power sharing, because there are different political parties which are going to come together, which are going to cooperate. So there is a new culture and respect for the autonomy of state governments. While doing this thing, what is coming into focus, or what is seen into focus, is about the autonomy of state government. What is the meaning of autonomy? Autonomy means the right or the condition of self-government. That is the meaning of autonomy, and the respect for the autonomy of state government. Decentralization. What is the meaning of decentralization? Decentralization means when power is taken away from central and state government and given to local government. When the powers are taken from the central and the state and given to the local government, we say it as decentralization. What is the meaning of local government? Local government means the administration of a particular country or district with representatives elected by those who live there. Okay, local government means it had its powers. How? because it is an administration of a particular country or district with representatives elected by those people who live there, who live in that particular country or district. That is known as a local government. So the powers are given from the central and the state and given to the local government. And actually in most states there are four types of local government. The like municipalities, towns, cities, villages and districts. These are the main four types of local government which is seen in most of the states. So what do this local government do is they have multi-purpose bodies. They are responsible for all type of services in roads, traffic planning and all. So they take into consideration or they look after whatever is happening in that district or in that state. And here in decentralization, the power is taken from central and state and given to the local government. And why it happens is vastness of states in size and population, internally diverse and need for power sharing. Because of all these things, we give the powers to the local government. And as I told you, what is the basic idea behind this is, as local government is there, as it is divided into municipality is there, town is there, village is there, district is there, and when it is a high populated country, what happens when we keep this local government, they are having, if the representatives are from the same village or from the same city, they can focus on that city or on that village more. So that is the basic idea for this decentralization. Solving a large number of problems and issues at local level. That's why we have taken this method of local government. What they do is they take into consideration all the services of road, traffic, planning, housing, or community development, or environment, or fire services, or maintaining the register of electors. All these things will be done by that particular local government. And people also have better knowledge of problems in localities, because if they are living at that place, then they will know what are the problems faced by the people over there. So local government or local authorities will be knowing it more. And the other thing is better ideas. Better ideas on where to spend money and how to manage things efficiently. That is also done by the local government. People's participation in decision making. If it's a municipality or a small village or small district, here people can also give their participation in the decision making. Next is to realize one important principle of democracy, that is also done under local government. For the people, by the people and to the people. That is very effective when it is a local government. According to 1992 Act, which has brought in effective decentralization, the steps taken for this by the constitutions were, it is mandatory to hold regular elections to local governments, reservation of seats for SC, ST and backward classes, 1/3 seats were reserved for women in local government, State Election Commission conducts the elections for local government, and state government shares some power and revenue with the local bodies under the local government. So these, under the 1992 Act, these were the steps taken by the Constitution to bring the decentralization more into effect, by keeping reserve seats for the women, keeping reserve seats for SC, ST and backward class, so that they can be, motivated, or they can be encouraged to come to light, or they can be, their standard of living can be raised. Regular elections were held for the local government, and state election commissions were there who were conducting the elections and all. So these were the some of the steps taken by the Constitution. Now here you can see the local self-government in rural, the Panchayati Raj, village level, block level and district. Here in village level it is Gram Panchayat, they are formed by Gram Sabha and headed by Sarpanch. They all will be residing in that same village. Block level it is Panchayat Samiti, elected by Panchayat members and BD. Then it is district. District is Jilla Parishad formed by elected members and have members of Lok Sabha and MLA of the district and Zilla chairperson. So these are the main local self government. Okay. So here you can see Gram Panchayat, Panchayat Samiti, Jilla Parishad. Okay. Now here the other thing is what we say is the people living over there in the same village, right? So whatever the problem or the if it is a water issue, if there is electricity issue, whatever any problem faced by the people there, they are having what we say encouragement, or they are having no fear to go and have a direct talk with the person over there. Because here what happens is, as we have learned of say, formal sector and informal sector for loan, how the village people face the problem. Okay, because in formal sector they know that banks are there, but as they are not that much educated, they sometimes face problem, or they are a little bit feared to go there and have a talk with them. But if it is an informal sector, what they do, they are having the people in their village, only the money lenders and all. So they directly go and then they have a talk with them, they take the money and come. So same way, when here uh, when Jilla Parishad is there, Jilla Parishad means the district council, that can be referred to the district council of Bangladesh or district council of India, anything. So here, when the people can directly go there and they can have a talk with them. And how is Jilla Parishad formed? Is they are formed by the elected members, and they also have members of Lok Sabha and MLA of the district. And the head is the Jilla chairperson. Here in village level also the same thing is there. Gram Panchayat is there. So people over there, they know the Gram Panchayat, they know what we say, the Sarpanch, they know how to go and have a talk with them. So this is mainly for those people so that they can, what we say, have a close relationship with them, they can solve their problems. They should not worry of, okay, how we will go and talk to them, what will be their response, that will be not there. Okay. Here next is the block level. Panchayat Samiti, elected by Panchayat members, BDO. So what is the meaning of BDO? The full form of BDO is Block Development Office. Okay, so here BDO means it is a department in charge of the development and the activities of a block. What is the meaning of block? Block means a district subdivision, that is block level. So block development office monitors the implementation of all the programs related to planning and development of the blocks. Okay, so Panchayat Samiti is there and they are elected by the Panchayat members, and this block development office is taking the in charge of all the development which is happening in the block. Same way with the district. Local government in urban. Here was local self-government in rural. Now it is local government in urban. Towns and big cities. In towns we are having municipalities and municipal chairperson is the head. In big cities we are having municipal corporations and mayor is the head. So here we have seen Panchayati Raj, local self-government, rural, village level, block level, district. Local government in urban, towns, big cities, municipalities, municipal chairperson is head, and municipal corporation, mayor is the head. Now there are some difficulties also which is faced by the local government, that is elections to Gram Sabhas are not held regularly, and most of the state governments are not transferring parts and resources. Most of the state governments are doing this. So these are some of the difficulties which is faced by the local governments. So we have seen in this difficulties faced by local self-government, the local government urban in towns and big cities, local self-government in rural, village level, block level and district. 1992 Act, what all steps were taken by the Constitution to make decentralization effective? What is what is the basic idea behind decentralization? For solving the problems at local level, knowing the people, so that the people lost their fear and then they can directly go and have a talk with the people related to it. The parts are taken from central and state and given to the local government. Then language policy, residuary powers, language policy of our country, as we are not taking or imposing any language as our national language and imposing on any other non-language, that same language speaking states to speak in that language. Then what has brought about the real success of federalism, our nature or nature of democratic politics, our respect, our desire for living together. Then the parts which are not, for example, software, computer software, union government, that means central government is looking towards it. It is having the power to make the laws for it because it does not come under any subject of union list, state list, or concurrent list. And how our country is practicing part sharing. So these are the topics which we have seen. So I believe that you have understood the lesson. Thank you.